guys, this is CGC Apex, bringing you that Rise of Iron prep guide, which I've been looking really forward to, just to get out there for people who are Rise of Iron. It comes out on September 20th, so we got basically less than a month just to kind of grind out the game, start stockpiling. This guide is for anybody. You could do it to any extent. Like if you just want to do it just to be kind of ready, all the way up to being raid ready on that upcoming Friday after Rise of Iron drops. So what you mainly want to do is start stockpiling or setting up Motes of Light, Strange Coins, Heavy Synths, Armor Materials, Weapon Parts, Planetary Materials such as like Spinmetal, Relic Iron, etc. And then Legendary Marks. So let's start off with Motes of Light. You're going to be using those to level up your weapons and your armor for the perks and the damage output that you could get from it. And then also you want to just have those just to quickly level up new weapons that you might come across. The ways you want to get Motes of Light to be maxing out is public events every day. If you do them every day on each character, that's an automatic 15. And then if you say you're doing that every day up to Rise of Iron, just for this basis, I'm gonna say you have 30 days. 30 times 15, that's 450 Motes of Light just off the bat, just from doing the public events, which don't even take that long. Especially if you're using DestinyPublicEvent.com. They usually just have all the events down to the wire, so you could literally just go on the site. It'll tell you when a public event's about to begin, and you just go to that planet, do it really quick. It literally only takes like 5 minutes or so. Next, you want to make sure that you're grabbing your bounties every day. Usually bounties will give you a couple Motes of Light. And then also when you're leveling up, if you're at the max level of 40, every time you get that bar up at the bottom, you'll get Motes of Light for that. And then leveling up your factions. Once you level up your faction, you get a package. Usually the package will give you a couple Motes of Light. And then also the Prison of Elders will also give you guaranteed Motes of Light. Just from, you always will get a legendary weapon that when you dismantle it, it'll give you Motes of Light instead of like the legendary marks, because they're not from Taken King, they're from that past DLC. So it gives you Motes of Light instead of legendary marks. So you're actually guaranteed to get Motes of Light, and then you'll also be getting them from the 3 separate chests, and then also from turning in engrams. Sometimes you'll get Motes of Light if you turn in a lot of engrams. Usually one will give you, instead of the armor or the weapon piece, it'll give you Motes of Light. The same thing can go for Strange Coins. When you level up your factions, you'll get strange coins. Prison of Elders, you'll get strange coins. In a tournament, you'll get strange coins. Usually how I grind it out is usually the Prison of Elders, just because it's so quick doing the level 28 arena. That's the best way that I found to do it, just because you're getting strange coins and Motes of Light at the same time. And then also if you're using your consumables, you could get Glimmer too, so you can farm for the Glimmer. Next is armor material scrapping. Just so you could get armor materials and weapon parts, you want to just scrap a lot of your blues and save up the weapon parts and the armor materials. If you go to the gunsmith, you could use that glimmer that you get from scrapping too for your weapon parts. You get 5 weapon parts for 250 glimmer. So you want to save up into, maybe you have about 2,000 weapon parts if you're really trying to grind it out. I'm currently at like 600, 700. I haven't really been grinding it out that much. Also for barracks, if you want to get Heavy Synths from him instead of the weaponsmith. You want to go to him instead. He has a better deal. He has 1 ether seed and 250 glimmer will get you 1 heavy synth, which is honestly a bargain compared to the gunsmith. He's doing 1 heavy synth for 950 glimmer, so obviously it's literally a steal, especially if you have the ether seeds. You can also, honestly, if you need ether seeds, I forgot which quest it is, but it's one of the earlier quests where you're going on a ship and killing the boss. If you just kill the boss and kill yourself at the same time and just keep on redoing that, he drops ether seeds almost every time. That's how I got a lot of my ether seeds. But now let's get on to saving stuff in your legendaries. This is your main way of getting legendary marks or bringing over legendary marks, because you can only carry 200 on all 3 characters. But if you put your legendary marks into the vault, even if they're unupgraded, once we roll over to Rise of Iron and you're out of legendary marks, you could just go to your vault, dismantle unequipped ones, you'll get 3 legendary marks, but if they're all the way upgraded, you'll get 5 legendary marks instead. The main reason you want to save things for legendary marks are for your just basically for the new bookings that are going to be rolling out. You're going to want to try them out, and they're most likely going to have to be bought with the legendary marks. So if you save up enough of your weapons in your vault, and not only weapons but your armor too, from like the raids and stuff, you have 108 vault space for just weapons. So if you're even just ballparking it just off of weapons, if you fill up your whole vault and you have those weapons partially upgraded or fully upgraded, you're looking at 500 legendary marks right there. And then also for the armor, you're looking at another 500 if you fill your vault up. Maybe if you're saving up ghosts too, that's about another 300. So honestly, if you're maxing it out, maxing your vault space, taking full advantage of it, you can probably bring over about 1,000 legendary marks just from saving up from the vault. But the main way you're going to be leveling up on day 1, in my eyes, is just getting faction packages, trading in all the materials that you basically save in your vault. For, let's see, for 5 motes you get 100 rep, for 25 weapon parts you get 50 rep, for 25 armor materials you get 50 rep, for special synthesis you get 25 rep, 1 heavy synth you get 25 rep, and then for 25 planetary materials you get 25 rep. The leveling up cap is 2,500, so if you want to write this down, I just kind of converted each one into how many you would need to get 1 package. For 125 motes you get a package, 1,250 weapon parts you get a package, 1,250 armor materials you get a package, 400 special synthesis you get a package, 100 heavy synthesis you get a package, and then 1,250 planetary material you get a package. Honestly, the best deal would be the heavy synthesis, especially if you have the ether seeds and you're buying them from barracks. That's honestly a bargain, because you'd be using what, probably 100 ether seeds, and not even like 250 times 100, not even that much glimmer. Like honestly, you could get that much glimmer in 1 day. Also remember to be ranking up Banshee for Nadir, which is the new foundry. They've kind of been hinting that he's going to be playing some type of role with her. So if you rank him up before Rise of Iron, you won't have to rank him up after and be trying to catch up to everybody else. And then make sure to be saving your exotics, especially if you already have all the exotics unlocked, or if you don't really care about that. If you keep the engrams and then turn them in later after Rise of Iron drops, you won't be getting the new exotics, but you'll still be getting the exotics to drop at a higher light level. So instead of them dropping now at a 335 before Rise of Iron comes out, they'll be dropping at a higher light level than 335, just solely because you waited for the DLC to drop. So make sure you're doing that, and then make sure you're stockpiling 3 of coins. It could go either way with them. Honestly, they might scrap them like they did, like the commendations and stuff like that. So if you stockpile those and they say, well, we're gonna scrap them, they'll probably end up giving them some type of purpose, such as just giving you rep for some type of faction, or maybe for the Vanguard or something like that. So there's no really loss to them. And then if they decide to keep them, you could be using those while you're leveling up to get the new exotics very, very quickly, especially if you have a lot of them stockpiled up. Just pop one every time you see a yellow bar, and honestly, you'll be rolling in the new exotics. And then if you're really trying to grind this out, right before Rise of Iron drops, maybe 2 or 3 days before, you want to edge all your factions. So Vanguard, all the Dead Orbit, Future War Code, you want to just edge all those factions, and then as soon as Rise of Iron drops, you just literally just turn in one thing to get the rep, the last remaining rep, and then you'll get the packages from all those Vanguards, from the Vanguard, from the Crucible, from all those people. You'll be getting packages, so that's like a guaranteed. Let's see, if you're doing Future War Code, Dead Orbit, I can't remember the name of the other foundry, but if you're doing those 3, you're doing the Cryptarch, you're doing the Vanguard, you're doing the Crucible, do Crota's Bane, House of Judgment, Queen's Wrath, and then the Gunsmith. That's like at least like 10 packages right there if you're edging up all those factions, and that's just on one character alone. If you did them on all, that's like 30 packages. I know you're still just getting them on 10 each on a character, but if you're trying to level up all your characters really quick, that's 30 packages, 10 each, which honestly could be the difference maker for if you're trying to do the raid on the first day as soon as it drops. That can make a big difference. But lastly, make sure, I'm trying to think of other tips to do, make sure you're buying any weapons from at the tower that you might actually want before Rise of Iron drops. I'm sure as soon as Rise of Iron drops, they'll change up the weapons that they're selling. So weapons like the Hogsaw, Rune Wake, Apple of Discord, 1,000-Yard Stare, Conspiracy Theory D, those, just make sure you're buying them if you don't already have a good roll with them. I'm trying to think of some other ones off the top of my head. Future Workhole has the Villainy, and the Vacancy. Those are the only ones like Dead Orbit and them that I could think of that are really, really good. Make sure you're getting those too before they basically scrap them when the DLC drops. Make sure if you're still grinding, while you're still grinding now, if you're maxed out on legendary marks, just spend them on planetary materials and then just stockpile them. Collect Worm Spore. They might be a possible rep booster going into like Rise of Iron. I could see them doing that because they did it for the last DLC. Grab some primaries and special and heavy telemetry just to help you level up those new weapons that you'll be getting. Collect ether seeds. I've already said that, but yeah, they'll be playing a big role, just for buying stuff. I feel like in rep purposes. Uh, Make sure you get exotic shards. You should at least have 20 to 30 of those. Store glimmer in your vault by collecting the network keys like the house banners, etc. And then if you're a person that does the old raids, get the ascendant shards and the ascendant energy and just scrap those for glimmer and motes. Uh, but that's all I could really think of right now. Uh, so that's just my guide and my way that I'm going to grind these couple days, this last month out. Uh, if you have any other ways that could be helpful, put them down in the comments. But if you like this video, like and subscribe. Give me feedback about what you guys are doing to prepare for Rise of Iron. Your way might be different than my way. But this is CGC Apex, and I'll see you later.